Hello, my name is Kyle Blanchett, and today I will be providing a brief explanation of AR, VR, and blockchain technology with some examples, and then discussing their potential to create new opportunities for the theatrical industry going forward, while increasing equity and helping to lift up marginalized voices. Augmented reality, or AR, is the overlaying of digital content on the real world. An example of this is the game Pokemon Go, where you use your smartphone camera to see and then interact with these digital creatures. Virtual reality, or VR, is a fully virtual environment. An example would be putting on a headset where you can only see what is being displayed on the screens in front of you and only hear what is being played on the accompanying speakers. These technologies require the use of cameras and displays in order to work. The key difference being that in VR, you are fully cut off from the outside or real world, and in AR, you are still able to perceive your actual surroundings. The picture on the left is from rehearsals for the Royal Shakespeare Company's 2017 production of The Tempest, where the actor playing Ariel was in control of a digital avatar through a motion capture rig hidden in his costume. The avatar was projected on stage whenever Ariel made use of magic and would change its size and shape while mirroring the actor's physical movement and facial expression. This is the most notable use of AR in theatrical performance over the last few years. The picture on the right is from a full VR production of Tempest, created by the company Tender Claws and hosted inside of their immersive VR world, The Under Presents, where players cannot speak or physically interact with one another, but instead must use pantomime and learn spells to communicate and get things done. This past summer, in the height of the pandemic, Tender Claws hired real actors to perform inside of The Under, their VR performance venue, culminating in the creation of Tempest, which is the first live, ticketed, virtual theatrical production. Inside of Tempest, 12 audience members are taken through Shakespeare's play by a real actor controlling an avatar who has complete control over elements of the environment and the audience members themselves, who also help to enact the play. Unique experiences like The Under Presents, combined with gaming, are helping to drive adoption of VR by the general public. However, pandemic restrictions combined with the lower cost of equipment through hardware innovation are increasing the adoption rate even further. People are realizing the potential of VR as a means of social interaction in isolating times, and the release of the Oculus Quest series of VR headsets, which do not require a PC to operate and cost less, makes a clear case in the minds of consumers. This increased adoption equals a larger potential audience for theaters willing to embrace this new frontier. It also provides new ways to lift up marginalized voices and make their experience our own. The Denver Center Off-Center's incubation of Alejandro G. Inarritu's 2017 installation, titled Carne y Arena, which premiered at the 70th Cannes Festival and received a special Oscar, took the interviews and stories of Mexican and Central American refugees to create a multi-narrative light space with human characters. Oscar-winning documentarian Roger Ross Williams' 2019 Traveling While Black takes viewers to DC's Ben's Chili Bowl, where they are placed inside interviews, poetic cinematic recreations, and raw documentary footage to exemplify the danger of being black in America. These are just a couple examples of how this technology can be used and its potential to change the theater industry. If mid-size and small theater companies were to make use of this technology, they would be able to continue producing shows in VR even during a pandemic instead of completely closing their doors. They would also increase their visibility to audiences outside of their immediate geography while continuing to bring in ticket sales. Add the ability to record any traditional performance in VR, and you also extend the life of a production, creating the opportunity for it to continue to provide revenue. Blockchain technology is an open, decentralized ledger that records transactions between two parties in a permanent way without needing third-party authentication. This is achieved through a consensus mechanism where distributed computing is used to check the transaction until the required percentage is met and the network agrees that it's valid. This makes it practically impossible for fraud and theft to occur on a blockchain network, especially since every transaction is listed on the ledger, which is public. Smart contracts are a recent addition to blockchain that allows a network and its corresponding token to essentially run programs. As a result, cryptographic assets are being used to solve problems in a range of industries beyond payment processing and finance. Another type of cryptographic asset called a non-fungible token, or NFT, is helping to further blockchain's usefulness because NFTs are completely unique, one of a kind, and cannot be copied. Another way to put it is NFTs are to cryptocurrency as social security numbers are to dollar bills. While there are no current examples of this technology being applied to the theater, it's easy to see how it could change how the theater operates. For example, Mycelia is an online music collaborative founded by Imogen Heap and powered by the blockchain that seeks to give music artists full agency over all aspects of their work. This includes their music, licenses, agency affiliations, intellectual property, copyrights, contracts, streaming services, and, of course, revenue. This would represent a massive shift in how the music industry functions, giving individual artists complete control over their own distribution and full access to all information relevant to their work and livelihood. If a similar approach was taken to the theater, it would drastically change the industry. Consider if a decentralized exchange was created with the singular purpose of allowing theater organizations to list projects for funding, enabling theaters to source funding from around the world rather than only from their immediate surroundings and mailing lists. This exchange would operate on a blockchain network through which all transactions would be processed, eliminating any chance of fraud or theft. Then imagine the same network handles all artist and staff contracting and payment through smart contracts and NFTs. You would secure theater makers' intellectual property, copyrights, royalties, and work contracts while automating and thus guaranteeing their payment from those sources, creating greater equity and ensuring parity. If the distribution and immediacy of AR/VR were combined with the security and processing capabilities of blockchain, then some very exciting things become possible. Imagine a virtual theater district that goes on for miles, where you can see theatrical work from around the world while staying safely in your living room. Here, you'll be able to purchase a ticket and see a performance while also knowing that your payment is being distributed to the organization, performers, and production staff over a secure network that exchanges any currency for another in seconds while reducing all associated costs. This makes for a more financially stable and artistically vibrant industry, reducing theater organizations' dependency on government and private grants, thus mitigating their influence over the work that is produced and limiting censorship on a global scale. That is the future that I see for the theater. Thank you for listening.